MMA Rants and Raves, UFC 106, Josh Koscheck against Anthony Johnson. Guys, I have a question here. Something has been really bothering me, especially after watching this match. In the first round, we saw Koscheck take Anthony Johnson down. And when he had him down, he countered, and then he got the upper hand on Koscheck, and then he was standing up, and then he threw a knee to the head, which seemed to be partially blocked by Koscheck's arm. And it wasn't a very hard knee. It didn't seem to be, the way his head bobbed back. It's really hard to tell. And then what happened was there was some kind of hand coming across from Johnson that looked like it may have touched Koscheck's eye, but it seemed to be that the eye that Koscheck was complaining about was the left eye, and the way the hand went across from Johnson went into the right eye. So it just doesn't seem to be where the injury was caused by. Was it caused by the knee or by the hand? Now, it's very hard to tell. He said his vision was blurred. I mean, obviously it had to be an eye poke. Now, you know something, guys? There's something I don't understand here. Maybe you can explain this to me. They said that knee was illegal, and not only was it illegal, they took points off. Sometimes you see eye pokes, they let them get away with it, but they actually took a point away from him. Now, I don't understand something here. If a knee to the head is illegal, then how come flying knees to the head, which is what you see all the time happening in UFC fights and all MMA fights, those are legal? Now, I'm going to ask you, a knee that Johnson threw, that knee that he threw, against a flying knee, which have caused some fights to end and have caused injury, why are those legal and why are those not legal? That's what I don't understand here. I mean, this is MMA. You know, it's about looking for an opportunity, an opening to cause some kind of damage, to do something to win this fight. Whether it's a punch, it's a knee, it's a kick, that's what MMA is about. It's mixed martial arts. So what constitutes something as being legal or illegal? I just don't understand it. I fail to see the difference between the two. And then later on in the second round, it seemed that Johnson was complaining about 2 eye pokes that he received from Koscheck. Now, they were making a big to-do about it. They were complaining, they were screaming, they said, you know what, why don't they change those gloves? I don't get those fingers coming out of the gloves. And I'm like, what in the world are you guys talking about? What do you want to do, put boxing gloves on these guys? This is not boxing. How the hell are you going to grapple and wrestle and submit someone if you got boxing mitts on? You got to have your fingers free. You got to be able to hold on to something. You got to be able to have some kind of leverage on your opponent. There's no way you're going to be able to do that if your hands are encased in some kind of boxing glove. This is not boxing. I don't understand what these guys were talking about. I mean, what do you want them to wear? The gloves that they're wearing are perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. And then what do you want to do? Say, okay, yeah, put something on their fingers? What are you going to do? Put leather? You're going to put leather gloves or something like leather coatings on their fingers? They're not going to have any grip. There's no way they're going to be able to fight. I just don't understand what they were complaining about. So, I mean, the best thing to do is, in my opinion, to prevent these eye pokes. I know they can cause a lot of injury. They said this guy had surgery from it. You know what? They have to just train the fighters, or just, take a point off, or whatever it is. But the last thing you want to do is put boxing gloves on them. I mean, I just didn't understand what the point that they were trying to make was. So, I mean, it was a sloppy fight to begin with, but of course it ended up being a pretty decent fight when Koscheck he got the submission at the end. But that's really what I had to say about this particular fight. A lot of questions were raised, and especially these 2 questions that I have. I'd like to hear what you fans have to say about it. So please leave your comments below the video, and thank you for tuning in.